What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio, brought to you today by the TalkWad Network. Make sure you check out all the other shows on the TalkWad Network by visiting their website at www.talkwad.com. Again, my name is Terry Bork with Extreme Marketing Concepts, and I am super pumped today because we have one of the most amazing photographers that I've ever had the opportunity to look at his work. And he's joining us today, and he's right here in the Tampa Bay area. So all you brides, you're going to want to take a listen today. My guest today is Joe Roberts of Roberts Imagery. Welcome, Joe.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like I said, Joe is an amazing photographer. In fact, he's actually one of the featured photographers over at Wedding Wire. So, if you're looking for credentials, he's got them all. And like I said, he's just amazing, and he's fun, and he's young, and he really gets his brides and grooms and their bridal party and bat mitzvah girls and kinsey and all those events in your life. He just has this way to capture all of those moments in film so that you can have them forever.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever, yeah. So let me share a little bit more about Joe with you guys. Joe graduated from the University of South Florida with a degree in photography. He launched Roberts Imagery, a company providing professional photography services, again, for weddings, birthdays, bar and bat mitzvahs, anniversaries, kinseys, all that great stuff. He has experience with Busch Gardens, the Tampa Theatre, the Florida Aquarium, weddings, and numerous private events. And then that's provided him with the skills that he needs to produce the highest quality work for his clients. He also has had the privilege to travel to Europe and expand his knowledge on how to document the entire story with nothing but photographs. Roberts Imagery is dedicated to providing clients with the highest quality and creative photographs using the latest technology available to achieve outstanding results. And together, you and Joe can capture the most important moments in your life. And you're going to have an opportunity to go to his website at www.robertsimagery.com. And I'm going to see if we can ask our producers in a little while. Maybe they can go to that website and share some of the photographs on the photograph blog at www.robertsimagery.com. Or you can call Joe directly after our program today at 813-928-6349. So, Joe, explain to us a little bit more about your background in photography.
Well, I first got interested in photography 11 years ago when I was in New York. I was on kind of a family vacation. And all I had with me was a disposable camera.
Okay.
And I just started with that. And 11 years ago, I was 17 at the time.
Okay.
And it was the first time I ever felt a creative urge to get into, creating insightful photographs that I wanted to keep forever.
Right.
And then that hobby just grew into something more serious, started taking classes in school, eventually went to USF and got a degree in photography back in 2007. And since then, I just wanted to do my own business and grew from there.
I got that, Joe. And, you definitely have your own business now. And what made you pick the wedding niche for your photography to go in there? It's a highly competitive field.
Well, I mean, yeah, I originally did not want to do weddings,
Right.
Back then. Because also while I was in college at USF, I was selling cameras for Ritz Camera back then when I was in college. And I met a lot of photographers who I sold cameras to, and they told me how they felt about the wedding industry and everything, and they didn't make it sound too good. They were talking about how they didn't I don't know, they just had a lot of bad experiences with people.
Sure,
It was
sure.
mostly, I guess, about the people that they met, and
Right.
so I steered away from it originally and
Right.
wanted to go in other directions, but people kept asking me if I would do weddings,
Sure.
and so eventually, I needed to make some kind of money,
Yeah.
and started doing a few weddings, and I just had a completely different experience than the other people I used to sell cameras to, the other photographers. I mean, I'm in full creative control of the photography that's done at the wedding. I'm the
Right.
only photographer there. Um, I work under, most of the time I work under AC and some air conditioning. I get fed a nice meal. I get to meet great people on the biggest day of their life. And the photos and art that I produce that day is stuff they're going to be looking at the next like 70 years of their life to, cherish. And that's very gratifying to me to be able to do that for them. So
Sure.
it just all made sense to me
Right.
for all those reasons to do that.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I know that a lot of brides, they're very concerned about the number of photographers that are going to cover their wedding. And they're like, oh, always make sure that you have at least two, or don't hire a single photographer, or, what is your advice on that? And do you offer second photographer coverage?
Yes, I offer second photographer coverage on all my wedding packages that I give to my brides. I always try to make sure there's at least two. I used to do one. And there was a lot of issues with, having to ask people in the wedding party if they could hold a reflector or something for me. I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted another trained professional like me to come help me get different angles and different perspectives, and to cover areas that I couldn't cover cover two places at once.
Right.
Which is really important because, more and more churches nowadays, they are requiring photographers to choose one spot during a ceremony.
Right.
And to sit there and capture it from there the entire time. I can't move.
Sure.
Which
sure.
is no good. It's important to find two photographers and, have at least two places stocked out at the ceremony, and to shoot from the two different perspectives. And plus, my assistant photographer helps me out with lighting and holding stuff for me, and he gets other photos taken care of while I'm taking care of the client.
Got that. Okay.
So.
Beautiful. And do you use any specific type of style? I don't know what brides typically ask you for.
I usually, do the candid look. Photojournalistic style is the most popular, I'd say, that brides want these days. And photojournalistic meaning, just being able to tell the whole story of their day.
Right.
Not just taking a whole bunch of posed photos.
Right.
And that's important for after the ceremony.
Sure.
When you're getting the family portraits. But, everything else, you want to capture stuff happening in the moment and being able to tell the story of the entire day.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to just take a swap over to your website for a second, if I can. Are we ready? Great. If we're going to go over to his website at www.robertsimagery.com. And if possible, can we click on the blog over on the right top? One more? Yeah. Okay. Basically, on Joe's website, he likes to showcase various weddings that he's done, and he puts them out there for folks to capture. They can see the day, whether it's a wedding or a birthday party or an anniversary, graduations for seniors in high school and college. So you'll find a little tidbit about the event itself on his website, along with various pictures that he's taken to capture those. You want to talk about some of those moments with us a little bit, Joe?
We're going to talk about the ones that are right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this one that's right there was a Sweet 16 that I did in December. And her parents just wanted to do something special and have really nice photographs to capture the moment in. And because I did the same thing for her older sister a few years ago.
Okay.
And so they wanted to go to the beach. They rode over there in a limo. She took all of her friends out into this nice restaurant before we went and took photos by the sunset. And as you can see, we had a pretty good sunset that day. There was a lot of clouds.
Yeah.
But we had a pretty good sunset that day, and I just brought my lights out there and captured the sunset in the background.
Oh, that's awesome. And again, it's not specific to the type of event that somebody would like to have. If somebody would like a photographer, you can photograph anything for any reason, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for any type of event, I can pretty much cover any type of event nowadays.
Got that. Okay. But weddings really
yeah, I try to focus most on the weddings.
Sure. I got that. Joe, do you have backup equipment that you use in case an accident happens to your camera?
Yes, I think that's very important. And yeah, a lot of times I think brides will get photographers that are more part-time than full-time professionals. And they, these part-time photographers, since they're not as invested into it as full-timers are, they only, they don't have a budget to spend on tons of equipment.
Sure.
And so they have like one camera with them, maybe a couple of lenses, maybe a flash, and that's about it.
Okay, right.
And if anything happens to that one camera that they bring, what does the couple do that day? If someone were to actually, spill beer or something like that, which can happen, you got to be really careful, but it's, can happen. And someone were to spill beer on that camera, what does the photographer do at that point? So I always clarify that to all my clients that I have 3 cameras, I have 7 lenses, I have 4 flashes that I use in the course of the job, and my assistant, he also has 3 cameras and I'd say about 5 or 6 lenses and 4 flashes himself.
Got it. So,
I mean, no matter what happens, we'll be able to finish the job that day no matter what happens.
Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm always curious on this, do you give the rights to your images away?
Yes, I do give the client the rights to the images. There's a lot of photographers who don't do that, and I completely understand why.
Right.
They feel like they're a photographer, they sell prints.
Sure.
And I think more photographers, I believe, that are my age kind of feel that we're just in the digital age, and the people should have their digital image, because pretty much most of the stuff is digital. People post photos on Facebook and they email them to each other and all that good stuff, and they want to be able to make a print of what you do whenever they want. They don't want to have to keep coming back to the photographer. So I give the rights to my clients so they can produce as much photos as they want,
right,
at any size that they want. So they don't have to keep coming back to me unless they really want to.
Sure. Okay, I got that. That's great. And then, after the wedding is over and the images are available for the bride and groom, can guests from the wedding also get copies of the pictures? And how does that work?
Absolutely, yeah. I have online viewing and ordering. And after the wedding, usually during the reception, I have my assistant go around with a email guest list. And he gets everyone's email. And I don't need any other information besides the email address. You don't need to give me anything else besides that. So they give me the email address, and once I have that and I get done editing all the photos, a couple weeks after the wedding, I send out a mass email to all those people who signed up, and everyone gets a link to go view the photos online.
Sweet. Okay, great. And they can find them on your website. They can find them anywhere else. Can they find them? Pinterest, I believe you're on.
Oh, yeah,
Pinterest,
yeah. I mean, you can find them on my website. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on, I got some on Wedding Wire.
Got it.
They're out
everywhere.
there.
Yeah. One of the things I think is really neat with your style of photography is your ability to get the detail into a picture. Sometimes you see pictures and the lighting's kind of off, so it makes like some of the detail in the dress very hard to see. But I've seen images that you've taken where you're able to actually pick up the special lace or the sequins or the diamond stud type things in a dress. You're just able to capture that with the light. Is that a special technique that you use?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, everything in photography, like there's so many different variables you have to consider when you're taking a picture, in interior lighting or exterior lighting. And if you're, taking pictures of a bride's dress interior, and it's definitely, you got to have an exterior flash that you bounce the light off the wall, and it kind of creates a shadowy effect behind, certain areas of the photograph, a highlight and a shadow, and it kind of sculpts some of the beads that come off the dress and everything, depending on where you point the light and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty, most photographers should know about that at least.
Right,
and
right. Well, it doesn't mean
most
they
of
use
them
it,
do.
but...
Yeah, well, yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff at other weddings. Other photographers, they were like part-time, and I've seen what they do, and they just use the little pop-up thing off their camera.
Right.
And I was just pretty appalled by that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
So that's not it's not something you want to look for. Like you get, it's just like a necessary thing to have for weddings is exterior flash.
Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. You are listening to Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio. Our program today is brought to you by Extreme Marketing, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for your business right now. If you are looking to gain greater exposure online for all your marketing efforts, give them a call at 813-863-1452. My amazing guest today is Joe Roberts of Roberts Imagery. You can visit his website at www.robertsimagery.com to learn more about Joe Roberts and what he can do, and he's happy to answer any of your questions at 813-928-6349. Joe, when folks are considering getting married and they're getting married and they're considering their photographer, what are some things that you need from them so that you know the best type of package to get them to set up for them and be able to make sure that you're capturing their very special day?
Well, some things I need from obviously I need to know where the wedding's happening.
Does it matter? Can you go anywhere?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I can go anywhere. I love to travel. I've gone as far as Portland, Oregon.
Wow, Portland, Oregon.
Oregon to shoot a wedding.
That was neat.
I've gone to Cincinnati, Ohio. I've gone to Vegas, Nevada to shoot a wedding. That was particularly fun. And yeah, I've been down to Miami and stuff. Even though I'm localized here in Tampa, I love to travel. It's one of my big goals in life to travel all over the world doing what I love.
Okay, terrific. So you can take, when the bride tells you, hey, I'm going here, so you can do a destination wedding anywhere.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome. A lot of brides want to do that now. That's very popular these days.
Yes.
You'll take the cruise right along with them, I'm sure.
Yes,
right?
yes. I actually did that down in Miami. They had their reception on like a little boat cruise, and we just hopped on.
Very fun.
And
I think you capture a lot of additional things that you might not necessarily pick up if.
Yeah. It was a very different. It was a different reception experience than just going to a certain place. So.
Okay, cool. What else do the bride and groom need to share with you about their day?
Well, I mean, it's really important to, as much as you want to keep certain things, I guess, a secret at a wedding, to surprise everyone. It's really important that you let the photographer and like videographer and DJ know, what you're gonna do that day. Because, there's been a lot of times, the bride and groom wouldn't tell me how they were gonna enter into the reception when they announced their name.
Right.
And they would do this crazy thing, and if I knew that they were going to do that, I would have got a different lens to capture it or something, and
that makes sense.
That is really important to let your vendors know what kind of surprises you're going to do, so we can be prepared. So any kind of weird shot that they have in mind, or anything they're going to do at all that is not usually normal at a traditional wedding, is important to let all vendors know.
Okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Terrific. Anything else that they need to review with you before they're getting married?
Well, yeah, I mean, if they need engagement photos, if they need, save the dates, anything, preliminary for the wedding, that's important to let me know.
Okay.
So I can take care of that for them. And I guess the other thing is, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it.
How about like if they want to go someplace to have their wedding pictures taken, like can you share with them if they don't know where to go, like in between the wedding and the reception, if they want to take pictures somewhere but they're not sure? I mean, do you have events in mind or places in mind to take them to that make for a nice backdrop, or do they go to a studio? Like what's the best way to handle that?
I mean, when it comes to going in between the ceremony and reception, some people like to go to a different place from the ceremony before the reception.
Right.
And and that's okay. The important thing to keep in mind there is to make sure you give everyone enough time to be able to go somewhere else and do that.
Right.
Because you typically reception places, they want to start the reception an hour after the ceremony's over.
Sure.
And so that's important. But yeah, I mean, I've had some weddings, I'd hop in the limo with some wedding parties, and we'd go off to a park that was nearby, a couple miles down the road. And,
sweet.
We'd take photos there, and then we'd go over to the reception area.
Got it. Okay.
So,
how about like engagement photos? Are those very important for a couple to have if it's in their budget?
Yeah, if it's in within your budget, yeah, I'd say so. That's a almost necessary thing nowadays. Is
Sure.
to let your guests know that you're getting married.
Right.
People love to have a photo of the couple, and for the save the dates.
Sure.
That you put on, that usually gets out about 6 months before the wedding.
Right.
The save the date, and then once that's done, they like to put a picture on the save the date. So, and people like to just have photos during that moment of their life. It's the only time that they're going to be engaged.
Sure.
So they like to have photos while they're engaged and
Right.
photos after they're married and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Oh, I got that. Okay. Let's talk about after the wedding, after everybody's back from their little holiday and back to normal life. How long does it take typically to get the pictures returned to them, or for them to view them and start to put together an album or a memory collection?
Yeah, everyone's different on that.
Okay.
Some weddings take longer. Have more. They have more wedding ceremony time. And that results in more photographs, and same with the reception, and so they take up most of the day. So you'll be shooting, I'll have like 4,000 photos of that day, and I got to trim it down to, a reasonable amount for the client.
Sure.
And then there's some weddings that are so small and so short that, I might have 600 good ones instead of like 1,000. So everyone's different, and you typically, if it's like if I am giving the client like 1,000 photos, I try to do that within 2 weeks.
Okay.
And depending on how,
that's a reasonable turnaround
yeah,
time, I think.
yeah. I know there's this other wedding I heard about. I couldn't do it because I was already booked, but they had their photographer come back in November, and they have yet to see any photographs
from November.
And they had their wedding back in November. And my client that I took care of in November was they've already received their disc from me.
Wow. Okay.
So of all their photos to print out. So I mean.
Sure. Okay. Wow. Okay. Now you're talking about your disc. Are you referring to? I'm getting up.
Okay.
This?
Yes, I'm actually referring to both of these right here.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, can you share these with us? Hold them up a little higher so that
Sure.
they can see them on the camera. Okay,
we
so
go.
that looks like it's a regular DVD in a case, a jewel case.
These are actually both DVDs.
Okay.
The difference between these, besides the case, is that in this case, I give one disc and it has two.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so all the brides that book a wedding with you, they get all their pictures on some form of disc, whether it's the basic or an enhanced package. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I got that. Okay, after they go through the selection process and they tell you, I want this many, how do you go about filling the book, the memory book, the wedding album?
Yeah,
let's talk about that. That's a process, I'm sure.
That is a huge process. If anybody's like familiar with like scrapbooking or anything like that, it's like that, just all digitized. What I usually do for clients, and like I do all my designing in Photoshop. I do it all myself.
Sure.
And if somebody orders like a 50-page book, that could take forever. When it comes, because when you think about it, if I give a client 1,000 photos, and they just tell me, I trust your judgment, just make us an album. Just go with it and make an album. So now I'm going through 1,000 different photographs. I got to choose the best photos I think would be album worthy.
Right.
And then after that, I drop them in on a canvas in Photoshop, making different collages. I got to figure out what kind of layout I want depending on the photo content, because there'll be some photos that, there'll be, some open space in the left side of the photo, but the couple's on the right side.
Okay.
So depending on the photographs, you want to make it bigger and smaller, the layouts come different. So there's like all these decisions you got to make, and that is a lengthy process.
Oh my gosh.
And that is, that takes a long time. And all the little tiny details, like the edges of photos and different stuff like that, and gradients, fading from one photo to the next, that all, really takes time to make. It could be, it's something easy to make if you were only doing like one page of an album, but if you're doing like 50 pages, that takes a lot of time. So,
I got that. Okay.
Yeah.
When we come back, I'm going to see if I can get Joe to share one of his albums with us. We're going to take a commercial from Extreme Marketing Concepts, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Go Mind Your Business on the Talkwad Network. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio here at the Talkwad Network. I am Terry Bork, and you are watching myself and Joe Roberts with Roberts Imagery. You can reach Joe Roberts at 813-928-6349. A lot of businesses these days have a really big problem with their online marketing. They either have a really great reputation and no one knows about them, or they have a really lousy reputation and everybody knows about them. Extreme Marketing Concepts can help you fix that issue. They will let you know how to respond online, what to say, how to interact with your client base, and how to really get that stellar reputation going for yourself. 813-863-1452 will put you in contact with Extreme Marketing Concepts, and they'll be happy to help you with all your marketing needs. Again, my name is Terry Bork, and I'm speaking with Joe Roberts today. And we're going to talk about some of the wedding albums that Joe is able to provide to all our bride and grooms so that they can keep their amazing memory alive. So, Joe, can you shared with us the discs. So let's talk a little bit about the album itself and
Sure.
some of the other things.
Yeah, well, I got several albums here.
Okay.
And they're all pretty different. The biggest one I got here, these were all made by the same manufacturer. Now, all the photo work and all the layouts and designs were all done by me on my computer.
Sure.
But the actual manufacturing was a company that made it in Italy.
Okay.
These are all handmade in Italy.
Okay.
So
let's hold these up a little so our folks at home can see them. I got the little ones, and you got the big ones.
Yep.
So you got the daddy. So let's go look at the daddy
Let's
before
look at the
we get
daddy
down
first.
to the baby.
Yeah. So this is an album that it's a half-inch thick layer of glass.
Oh wow!
And
Can you
this
hold
is
that
a
up so
this is a glass. This is a glass cover. And you could put a photo underneath, and I usually like to put the bride and groom's name there onto the photo, and with a shot of the couple, a nice shot of the couple.
Right.
And the spine, it's a leather spine, it's a leather back, and that's the cover right there. And then when we open it, I got all this photo work and design and layouts and designs, and basically, and basically,
I know it's kind of hard to see, everybody. Sorry about that, but we're going to do our best. I don't want to hit Joe in the head. Here's a sample. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at the detail that's on these pages. And you're designing these, you say, in Photoshop? Maybe we can open up to another page?
Yeah, sure. What I like about these albums is I like how the binding in the middle doesn't cut off the photo. You know, like I can put a photo across 2 whole pages, and the binding does not cut it off, and you can just go across 2 whole pages without skipping a beat.
Right. Now there's a coating on these pages. I know it's really hard to tell online, but there's a coating so there's not that plastic shrink wrap in front of the picture where you're doing like you slide it in. This is actually a page that the picture is embedded on.
Yeah, the photos are printed right onto the page, and the type of paper that you're seeing there is metallic paper.
Metallic
and
paper.
And it gives it a real sheen to the album, and it really makes the colors pop, and there's a lot of clarity to it, and it really just impresses a lot of brides when I show this off to them.
Right. This is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. This album is gorgeous, and there's so many different types of layouts that a bride and groom could do to lay out the perfect album that's special for them.
Thank you.
Terrific. Wow, it's heavy. It's very, very heavy. So is this standard with your packages, or is this
it's something, extra? I have it in my higher packages that I had, and pretty much in any of the albums that wedding couples choose for me, they can get a glass cover like this one. I have there's a whole different array of different types of covers you can get.
Right.
There's the leather, there's a leatherette, there's the cowhide. You can do a die cut leather where there's a photo in the middle of the leather. You can do a stainless steel mirror polished album where your photos are kind of engraved into the cover. And then there's the glass here like this, and then there's the flap jacket like this.
Okay, so let's talk about this one then. You call this a flap jacket. It kind of looks like it's a book about your wedding day because it's got a nice book cover type.
Well, I mean, you're telling, like I said before, you're telling a story of the wedding day.
Right.
And you put that into a book, and you just make it nice from beginning to end.
Right.
So, yeah, this is just a pretty standard cover here. It's a little flap jacket, as you can see. And then when we go open here, there's a different type of paper here too.
Oh, that is. Again, it's not like that.
It's not the metallic. It's a linen paper. But they also, the different papers they have that I could do for my clients is satin, pearl, glossy, metallic, matte, all that good stuff. So I can, all those different options are available. But this one in particular is linen, and it's an 8x8 album, while this one's a 12x12. The Daddy was a 12x12, and this is 8x8. So I usually, to keep it simple for clients, I usually just offer either an 8x8 size or 12x12, because really, there's like 40 different options of album sizes you can choose from.
Sure.
And that's pretty overwhelming to a bride, considering all the other decisions that they got to make for that day.
Exactly. There's so many decisions.
I try my best to give them an array of options, but also keep it simple for them so they're not overwhelmed.
I got that.
So, so there's the 8x8 and the 12x12. And now the little guy you see here, also a flap jacket. Now this one you can't really do like the glass cover.
Sure. Well, it's kind of
it's a little hard, but you can get the different types of paper. But it's almost the size of a coaster here. This is an album, and this is a duplicate of this larger album right here, the 8x8, and it has a full 50-page.
Wow, that 50 pages.
Album.
That's like 100 different. That's 50 page total, so it's 25.
Yeah, so it's like 25 spreads, 50 pages, and but you can duplicate a whole wedding couple's album, and you can give this to like a mom who can keep this in her purse and just take it out and show off any of her friends, the whole wedding album to her friends.
So what bride or what mom doesn't want that, or mother-in-law or best friend?
I can't think of one. Can you?
No,
I don't know.
No, that's awesome. So kind of glad I'm not married anymore because there's all these new options for the next time. No.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Right. No, not in a hurry. But for those of you that are, you have dates still available for 2013.
Yeah, I do. I have some dates still available in 2013, and I'm really anxious to fill up my 2014 as well.
Okay, great. So you do book that far out in advance?
Oh yeah, I booked a November 2014 wedding all the way back in spring of 2012.
Oh, okay. So, if you're getting married, well, trust me, brides, grooms, moms of brides, you want to take advantage of Joe. Like I said, it's hard to tell here on this camera, but his pictures are amazing, and the attention to the detail is just it'll blow your mind. And there are some pictures on his website, again at www.robertsimagery.com, over in his blog section, and you can check out some of his pictures there. And there's other pictures and videos of his work throughout the website as well. So
I like how you word that,
there,
though. Like, take advantage of me. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, please take advantage
No,
of Joe
I don't
today.
mean it, I don't mean
I'm
it that
like,
way.
All right, yeah, okay. That's
No,
fine.
it's just, to have you do a wedding is would be any bride's dream,
Yeah.
And I know that you do some bridal shows. Where can folks find you?
Right now, I do the yourweddingtv.com bridal shows, and
Okay.
they're a company that's based out of Orlando, but they have been coming over to Tampa too, and they've been really, really good to me.
Right.
I've done 3 wedding shows with them, and the first 2 I booked 18 weddings from
Wow.
2 of their wedding shows, and I just did a 3rd one last week, and so far I've booked about 4 or 5 within the past week from that wedding show.
Wow. Okay. Great.
So yeah, 3 right at the show. And I've got a lot more meetings coming up with other brides.
Cool. And when you're not doing the weddings, I know that you're doing engagement shots, so you can go really to any venue. I know you shared a story with me about a neat bride who got engaged with you there.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a really neat story. You want to share that with us?
Yeah,
A great way to surprise your bride, future grooms.
The groom, he was a guy I knew for a few years now, and he always knew about my business and asked me if I could help him to take photos of him getting engaged. And so I was like, absolutely, man, I can definitely do that for you. So I went out to the downtown area with him, and she thought that she was getting photo lessons because she's a photo hobbyist. And she thought she was getting photo lessons from me.
Got it.
So she had her camera there ready, and she was ready to learn. And so I'm talking to her, and as we're walking along, and AJ had this certain spot in mind to propose because he wanted to point to a certain stone in the ground at downtown that said, "Will you marry me?" engraved into it. And so we were walking along, and I'm talking to her about photography, and all of a sudden he turns to her and gets her attention and points to the stone, and he gets down on one knee.
Oh, wow.
And I just immediately, since I had my camera out because she thought she was getting a lesson, I just had my camera ready right there to snap some shots of her first reaction of him getting down on one knee. So it was a really cool
beautiful is that
moment.
to capture that moment that every girl dreams of.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was shaking in his boots, and you were probably delighted you got the picture. Right?
No, it was definitely fun. Just make sure your ideas are original, because if everybody starts doing that plan with using me as a photographer to go engage, I think brides are going to pick up on that.
Right.
So
well, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do. I mean, that's just an example. You can be creative.
Yeah, I know. That's just an example. Don't just, follow that plan. Just, make sure you...
but what a great story.
Make sure the brides aren't on to me.
Right? I got that. And I know that you do other types of photography as well. I know that you take pictures for professional publications.
Yes. I've done work for 17 magazine. That was a few years ago. They had an event. They had an event that was kind of like going on tour. And fortunate enough for me, they found me online and called me and wanted me to cover an event for them that was happening in the Brandon area.
Got it.
So I got to meet some celebrities that were there.
Oh wow! How exciting!
It was musicians who I met, and I got to cover that for them, and I had an assistant with me, and we photographed the whole event, and they published some of the photos I took from that onto the 17 website.
Got it.
So,
okay, great.
Yeah.
And you did something that they captured some of your photography too for Emmys or something, or Grammys or something.
Yes,
right?
because I do a lot of work with Tampa Theatre, and I've shot their Oscar night event for the past 5 years. So I've got a good connection there, and one of the photos I took of the Tampa Theatre marquee got onto the official Academy Awards Oscar website.
Isn't that awesome?
And so it was pretty cool. So
right.
and that got on there, and they absolutely loved me that happened because
Sure.
it promotes them
Sure.
all across the nation, being on the Academy Awards website. So they were just really happy and really excited for me.
Right. And so that's great. So, Joe has a lot of great connections, and he does business with a lot of different types of venues and people. So, don't feel limited in anything. I know you photograph parties, and high school seniors who are graduating.
Yep.
So you can help them capture their senior year. So you're not locked into just what the school provides.
Yeah.
You can help out there as well and give them maybe something a little nicer than
something a little less posed, a little more fun, that the senior can have more fun with.
Yeah. Do you alter your images in any way, whether it be for your brides or for folks who are getting their picture taken? What kind of adjustments do you make to the pictures?
Well, that's a good question, Terry, and I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
I can do a lot to manipulate photographs. However, what I mostly do is I edit for brightness, contrast, color balance, white balance, curves, levels, all that good stuff. And those are pretty much the light edits that I do within Photoshop to edit my photographs. And I guess there's some brides out there and some people out there have this common misconception of that, I can just easily photograph any kind of extra weight that they may have out. And and I can do that.
Right.
It's just that's a lot of work. And when they want me to do it to 1,000 of their photographs that I give them, that is a ton of work to photograph that out. And it's and I'm happy to do it, but obviously that's a lot of time, and that's stuff you got to get paid for nowadays.
Right.
So,
got it. Yeah, time is money. I get that.
Time is money.
Get that. But
so,
but if the bride wakes up and she's got that one little pimple,
I can take
you
care
can
of
help
that
her that,
yeah.
because sometimes that happens from stress.
And this is another good fact about my business. Usually, what I like to do is I let the bride know, I'll be happy to edit a photo no matter how you want it, however you want it. What I usually do is I edit the first 5 photos for free.
Okay.
And basically, it's the best photos that they feel they would want to look at inside their house every day. The ones they want to hang up and enlarge and put up in their house, like I'll edit those for free. I do the first 5 for free, and I'll edit whatever they want. However good they want it to look, I'll make it look that good, and so that they can make them happy.
Okay, perfect. When you're doing a wedding, is there a typical amount of time that you're spending at the wedding? How much time do you allow during a wedding?
I usually I do unlimited time of shooting, but I usually start 2 to 3 hours before the ceremony and go all the way to the end of the reception. Now, when I mean to the end of the reception, I mean, if people aren't drunk and passed out until 1 a.m.,
right.
I'll be there till 1 a.m. with my assistant, which is an important thing, because a lot of photographers, they'll send the assistants home after a few hours, and now you're only working with one photographer and everything. And I like to keep me and my assistant there the entire time to make the client happy, to capture all the different action going on.
Cool. After the wedding is over and the bride and groom have ordered all their pictures, is that it? Can they never order from a picture again, or do they own the disc and they don't have to order or worry about it?
Absolutely not. They can. My relationship with the client can continue to grow. They can order albums from me, and that's another important thing. At the time when brides sign with me, some of them feel that they have to make all their photographic decisions at the time of signing a contract, which isn't true. They basically, the time of signing a contract is to decide whether they want me as their photographer or not.
Got it.
And they can choose if they want an album later down the road, even after their wedding. If they wanted an album, 6 months, a year, 2 years out,
right?
When they've saved a little money and wanted to buy one, they can do that. Because I keep all my photographs backed up on extra hard drives that I do. So they can order whatever they want from me at any time that they want.
I got that. Okay, cool. Great. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our visitors today that we haven't talked about?
That's a good question. Well,
we talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did cover a lot of stuff.
I know, it goes fast.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the most important thing that I'd like any listeners to know is that I love doing what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to continue doing what I do. And yeah, I have been doing it for a number of years, and I know how to execute photography at weddings in a scientific form.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a really good job of doing that, and just want to keep it going.
Got
really.
it.
So,
Okay, great.
yeah.
Well, again, Joe is happy to help you answer any questions you have about your wedding, the right number of photographers to be at your wedding and set your day and help you make it very special with memories that will last you a lifetime. Give him a call at 813-928-6349 and visit his work. You just go to his website at www.robertsimagery.com. and see all of the great stuff that he has back in there. You have been listening to Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio here at the Talkwad Network. Oh, and they teased me. I thought we were over real quick.
I was already out the door.
And I want to thank everybody for listening here today. Again, our show's been sponsored by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. We will see you next time on our program. Until then, I remind you to go mind your business. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terry next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.